Another big cricket season is upon us. There was a lull after that Border Gavaskar trophy, and we had a T20I series in between. But the action starts now. Another ICC tournament, another year. It has become an annual fixture now. But there is build-up, there is hype around Champions Trophy. The tournament returning after 8 years to be precise.
Yeah.
The defending champions hosting the tournament this time. Co-hosting, I don't know whether we can call that, but some of the matches will be played in Dubai. And Saurabh, we also reported today that the ticket sales for India versus Pakistan was a blockbuster. Like within minutes, the tickets were sold out. But before we get to Champions Trophy, India are going to play a 3-match series against England starting Thursday. There is a lot of excitement around it, especially after the way the superstar cricketers played in the Ranji Trophy in the last 2 rounds of the group stages. And also, if you look at it, there will be players from the T20I series. A very successful T20I series for India. Like our friend Kingshuk Kusari is not here to, to see the baseball getting, thumped once again. Today we've been joined by Alan. He wanted him to call him a concussion substitute.
Yes, I've been brought in for the hard-hitting batter. I'll be bowling pace. So that is the new rules of the concussion subs. That is how I've been here.
Yeah. So quick thoughts, Saurabh, Alan, before we delve deeper. I'm asking you a very broad question here. Looking at the way we have built up, looking at the number of ODIs that we have played since the World Cup final, which is 3, and looking at the time that the senior batters have had in the middle, do you think India have a squad to win the Champions Trophy?
When you talk about the Champions Trophy, this is something which, especially with this Indian cricket team, when you have not played more than 3 ODIs in last 1 year. Because last time you played an ODI series, it was in July in Sri Lanka. You lost that 2-0. Before that, you played an ODI World Cup final. In Ahmedabad, you lost that to Australia. And a lot has happened since then. Because Rohit Sharma, as a test captain, has been questioned. People have asked him to retire. Then Virat Kohli's form has been questioned because he has gotten out in the same manner in last 8 to 9 innings in Australia. And then these 2 cricketers, not these 2 only, many star Indian cricketers were asked, and they did play 1 or 2 matches of Ranji Trophy for their respective states or whatever places they wish to represent. So a lot of things have changed. But one thing which I believe is going to help this Indian side is that you won a T20I series against England. You are going to play an ODI series against England as a warm-up event, as you can call it, for both India and England ahead of the Champions Trophy. And your side, it is kind of the same side which played the ODI World Cup, and that was unbeaten till the final, unfortunate day, 19th November. So if we look at that form, then yes, we definitely have a chance to win the Champions Trophy. But seeing at the current state of things in Indian cricket, with Gautam Gambhir being questioned, the relationship between Gambhir and Rohit taking the spotlight, I don't know what to say. Because I personally am afraid right now that we might not even reach the next stage. Because we are going to play Bangladesh, Pakistan and New Zealand. And then we are going to play in Dubai. So everything lines up to that 2021 T20 World Cup. So for me, it's a very dicey call. I don't know what to say, to be very frank with you.
That was the point that I wanted to make. Like when you talk about this ODI team, when we saw that test series also, a lot of experts, a lot of fans, and we ourselves said, oh, test is fine, we have lost the series, but when it comes to limited overs, when it comes to the white ball sides, we'll do well. Of course, the T20 side has done wonderfully well, beating England 4-1. But I think it's too unfair to, it's too naive to say that, oh, this ODI team will get going from the word go. Because of what has happened over the last few months, I want to pose that question. Alan, do you think what has happened in Australia, will that have an impact on how this team plays, especially Rohit Sharma?
Not really, because if you look at the last Sri Lanka series, Rohit Sharma was our standout batter. He played in the same way that he played in the ODI World Cup final and the matches before that, in the World Cup specifically. So he stood out. He did not have any issues facing the Sri Lankan bowlers and the Sri Lankan spinners who were troubling the other batters. So I think Rohit has his own mantra set when it comes to the ODI matches.
Okay, this is okay. About the technical aspects, about his skills, probably there might not be questions. But what about the mental aspect? He probably might know that if at all India don't do well in the Champions Trophy, his career might be coming to an end. As in, like, questions will be asked. I'm not saying that he'll be forced to force his way out, but don't you think that is going to be adding extra pressure on him?
But do you really, if you're talking about Rohit Sharma basically here, he's probably the most laid back cricketer that we have probably seen in our generation. I don't think it affects him at all. Yeah, the questions are always there. I mean, the things that happened in Australia, some of the things where he was coming in and doing a mid-lunch interview, these are things that we don't expect him to do, but he was forced to do it. Now, whatever the conditions were at that point in time, that's now a thing of the past. That does not matter right now. What matters right now, as Saurabh said, you're going to Dubai. This England series, I very honestly saying, I don't know what the result would be, but I am thinking India is going to win 3-0 because England are very poor when it comes to facing spinners. That was exposed in the T20I matches, and their performance in India during the 23 World Cup was also shambolic, to say the least. So I don't expect them to put up a big challenge in front of this team. But like Saurabh said, going to Dubai, I think the last time when we were playing in Dubai for an ICC event, it was not good for us, the way that it ended. But I don't think that to happen this time around, because people like Rohit Sharma, people like Virat Kohli, they have stepped up when it has come to an ICC event, when it has come to a limited overs ICC event. Let's be more specific in that case. The ODI World Cup, I did not have a lot of expectations from these two guys. I expected Shubman Gill to perform, but then these two guys stepped up massively and they carried us into the World Cup final. So I expect them to do the same this time around. But also, most of our chances hinges on one player, that is Jasprit Bumrah, and his fitness. If he is not fully fit, or even if he is not 50% fit, I don't think BCCI will take the risk of playing him. And if that is the case, then our bowling does look a lot weak in front of the others. That is an area that really concerns me.
But is Jasprit Bumrah that important? Like we discussed in the sledging room also. Like, as I'm not saying that, Jasprit Bumrah's, we are not questioning Jasprit Bumrah's skills, but can't India do it without him?
They've done it in the T20I format.
Yeah.
They have done it massively well. If this Champions Trophy was going to be a T20I format, I would have honestly said India is going to make the final and they are going to win it, because that team looks solid without the presence of a Jasprit Bumrah or without the presence of a Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. That team looks solid. But when it comes to the ODI team, and this is coming back to my an article that I did recently, saying how the transitions, if you look at all the three teams, the ODI team is one place where it is still in an infancy stage. Test team, they have tried it. It has some of it has worked, some of it has not worked. T20I team has been spot on. They found the right place. The ODI team is still something in that process of finding the right mix, finding the right transition as to who to bring in and what is the kind of mantra that you're going to follow. So I feel that with the ODI team, that is still a process in the work, and that is probably why they did not succeed in Sri Lanka. So I feel that is the main thing right now at this point in time.
What do you guys think? As in, like, with we saw the template in the T20I series. You used a one frontline bowler and one Hardik Pandya, and then stacked your squad with spin. And we are hearing that Varun has started training with the ODI squad in Nagpur. So, as in, like, are they thinking on those lines? If Bumrah is not fit, okay, let's not add an extra pacer. Should we add Varun Chakravarti to the squad? Or probably, as in, like, how do you think Varun deserves a place in the ODI squad?
These are two different points. First is Varun Chakravarti's form in T20is, and especially I think you were writing a copy that Varun Chakravarti has been spotted training with the Indian squad. And then we looked at his listed record, and he has picked up 2 5-wicket hauls in Vijay Hazare Trophy. He is the second highest wicket taker after Harshdeep Singh. So definitely he deserves a call up. But my biggest problem is, you want T20is against England featuring a spin heavy squad because England can't play spin. You can't say the same about Pakistan or Bangladesh or New Zealand for that matter. And then you are not going to
we
play.
can't say that about New Zealand for sure.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
and then for that matter, you are playing in Dubai and you are going to play a 50-over tournament. So I don't agree with the idea of having a spin heavy bowling lineup. Because even if you have, like, see, I'm not saying you can't have a spin heavy bowling lineup, but then you should have at least 2 frontline pacers, because you know what happens in the last 10 overs. There are teams who stack up wickets till the 40th over and then they will go bang bang. And in Dubai, especially, what we have seen previously is, especially when you are chasing, when you are defending something, then your bowlers don't get any help, spinners don't get any help. You must remember that Varun Chakravarti made his India debut in that wretched T20 World Cup in 2021. And you see how he was taken apart. Babar, Rizwan, New Zealand batters, everybody hit him around the park. So Varun Chakravarti deserves a place as Kuldeep's backup, not as a bowler who can replace a frontline pacer. And that is my biggest concern when you're talking about Bumrah, especially. Like you asked, why Bumrah is most important? Because if you look at the entire cricket fraternity right now, I don't think you can name one bowler apart from Bumrah, one fast bowler apart from Bumrah, who has been performing across formats with similar intensity. You saw how Bumrah was sensational in the ODI World Cup. It was because of Bumrah. I will not take the credit from Shami and Siraj, but it was because of Bumrah that they were also getting wickets. It was because of Bumrah that you won T20 World Cup. And then it was because of Bumrah that you were somehow putting up a fight in Australia. So Bumrah is that important. He is the MVP of Indian cricket. If he's not there, you need 2 fit bowlers. Ashdeep Singh, great. What about Shami? You played him 2 T20is. He bowled a total of 6 overs. Picked up 2 wickets when England were all but out of the series, out of the match. So there are a lot of questions around that bowling lineup for me. And Varun Chakravarti definitely deserves a call-up in the ODI squad, but not at the expense of a frontline pacer for me.
And for Varun's selection also, what I feel is, at least you should have tried. I understand that you did not get the chance to try him out earlier, because like we have just played 6 ODIs before the Champions Trophy. That's not an ideal sample space to test him out. But the fact of the matter is, you should have tried him out in ODIs beforehand.
But he was brought back into the T20 squad only after Gambhir came in.
After Gambhir came in, I understand that. But the thing is that a guy like Varun, if you're throwing him into the deep end, last time it did not work out. Right.
Last time probably too soon, as in he was
probably
not ready.
Too soon. Probably he was not ready. You have a lot of questions coming in. So that is where I feel, when it came to our pace attack being selected, we are putting all our cards, all our bets on Bumrah to be fit. If Bumrah is not fit, and like how Saurabh pointed it out, I think Arshdeep also said, he was asked, you are the fastest to get 100 wickets, you are the fastest to be the top wicket taker. He beautifully said that in the T20 World Cup, my whole plan was the fact that Jaiswal was creating pressure from the other end and they tried to target me and I was getting wickets. So most of the credit goes to Jaiswal to create that pressure. And that pressure being created is by Bumrah, while the others around him pick up the wickets.
So both of you are saying that we can't win this ICC tournament without Bumrah. Is that what?
No.
Yeah.
So let me be very specific.
Yeah.
I am saying Bumrah is the MVP of Indian cricket. You need him. But if he's not there, you need 2 fit premium frontline pacers. Ashdeep is one. Can Shami do the role of the second pacer? Because I cannot expect Hardik Pandya to bowl 8-9 overs for you. He cannot do that job. You saw in the T20is, he was getting wickets because there was pressure from other end, or he was using the slower deliveries to outfox the English batters. And then the English batters had to go after him because they had no other option. They could not go after the spinners. So that was the time when he was getting wickets. Will he get wickets in ODI World Cup, ODI Champions Trophy? Probably he will get. But can he create the same pressure? No, he can't. So you need a frontline pacer. I am very, very baffled that we have not carried a proper third fit pacer. When Bumrah's fitness is questionable, you should have carried one more pacer.
But for the ODI series, Harshit Rana is there. Probably.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. If you have Harshit Rana for the ODI series, why not have him for the Champions Trophy also?
Yeah. Probably they'll name him as a backup or something.
Yeah, you need him. Because, again what you have done is you have taken Akshay Patel, you have taken Kuldeep Yadav,
Yeah.
you have taken Ravindra Jadeja, and you have taken Sundar. So I don't understand the importance of Sundar, Jadeja, and Akshay, all three in the same squad. Two of them would have done the job.
Yeah.
If you want Jadeja to play this tournament, maybe Sundar is not needed. You needed a pacer. You did not pick Nitish Kumar Reddy also. So you need an out-and-out pacer to do the job. Because if Nitish was available, you could have asked, okay, Nitish, you bowl 4 overs, Hardik will bowl 6 overs, or the other way around, who has
And
had
an
a good
extra
day.
batter as well.
Yeah. But now you don't have that. You need a proper pacer. And this T20I setup where you outfoxed England, this will work only against teams like England.
Yeah.
It will not work in the ODI Champions Trophy against the likes of New Zealand. I'm sorry. It will
But
not.
think about this. I'm just giving you an option, Saurabh and Alan.
Yeah.
I understand your point. Hardik Pandya cannot be a second pacer in the 11. But if you have Hardik, Shami and Arshdeep as your 3 bowlers, and then Jaddu, Aksar and Varun, or Jaddu, Kuldeep and Varun, or Aksar, Kuldeep and Varun, won't it be a good bowling lineup? Like you will have 2 all-rounders in the 11, Hardik and the spin bowling all-rounder,
Yeah.
and then Kuldeep and your Varun Chakravarti. Won't that create a bit of
No,
panic?
that is what I'm saying. We saw Shami in the T20I series.
Yeah.
We thought he will play every match, or at least 3 or 4 matches. He
3 or
played
4
2
matches,
matches.
yeah.
He played the 3rd match and he played the 5th match. And there you saw that he got wickets only when England were under the pump, and they were just smashing the bat so that they could get some runs.
See, sort of, as in like, I understand your point,
Yeah.
but probably they would have wanted to preserve him for the ODI series. If a fitness certificate has come saying that, okay, he's good enough to bowl 10 overs, then probably you
That
should
is what
trust
I'm
him.
saying. I will trust him. I'm not saying I'm not trusting him, but I want to see if Shami can bowl those full 10 overs. We have the England series. We'll see how fit he is.
So even if Shami is not fit, say Shami is not fit and we play Harshit Rana or Mohammad Siraj is included
Yeah.
and he plays, then don't you think that this lineup doesn't make sense? Makes sense.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You need 2 premium fast bowlers.
Who
My
are fit.
simple point agenda. And then you play 3 spinners, you play 4 spinners. I don't care. But you need 2 pacers plus Hardik. You can't have 1 pacer plus Hardik. That is what I believe. Because it is an ODI Champions Trophy.
And it's also in the month of February.
Yeah.
I was looking at as in like a lot of people said that it might not be that hot in Dubai, so the pitches might not be dry. But I was looking at the ILT20 scores. Not a lot of scores over 180, 170 there in Dubai. So probably the pitches are already tired after the ILT20 season. And only 3 matches. I'm not sure how much work would go into the ground in preparing those pitches. Will they prepare fresh pitches? In that case, I'm just thinking, is Gambhir thinking about a 4-man spin attack with Arshdeep and Hardik?
Again, I'm saying what I saw, what I have been watching this ILT20.
Yeah.
Teams who are chasing well are winning.
Yeah.
You win the toss and you have to bowl. Simple.
So that's probably Dubai's formula with Dew coming in.
So first thing, okay, you pray to God. Rohit Sharma, okay, toss should be in our favor. First thing. Second thing, what we have seen in Dubai in the past is spinners can be effective, but there's a lot of dew. And then the ball becomes a fucking soap. You can't turn it. You just bowl it, it turns into a full toss, it turns into a short pitch ball, and the batsman gets whatever he wants. He hits it for boundaries, for fun. So you need to be very, very cautious about selecting your bowling lineup. We still don't know how the pitches are going to play. Like you said, 3 matches, how much preparation is going to be there, we don't know.
I think all the energy is focused on renovating the stadiums now.
And we can
Not
have
very
2
sure.
more matches if India win those 3 matches, if India reach the semi-final and India play the final.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of if and but. I don't want our bowling lineup to be if and but. It should be a proper bowling lineup where you should trust them to do the job, where you're batting first or bowling first.
Great. On that note, Saurabh,
Yeah.
a little bit, looking back at the T20is, let's, juggle back.
Okay.
Because since Alan is here, since Alan, from the man from his land, has kind of not done well in the T20I series. Like Alan, I was genuinely surprised at the discourse saying that, okay, probably drop him now. We are talking about Sanju Samson here. Like Abhishek Sharma, the discourse was the same during the South Africa T20s when he couldn't get going. Drop him.
Bring in Yashasvi.
Back. Yeah. Now we are saying that Sanju Samson probably hasn't done well. There was the controversy about Vijay Hazare Trophy as well. He was not named in the Champions Trophy squad. And then now the T20I series hasn't gone his way. But is it too early to say drop Sanju Samson? Because I am talking about a situation where Yashasvi comes back into the T20s side. Shubman, I don't know how much he is being rated as a T20 player now, although he was a vice captain at one point. So if probably these two come back in, is there a place for both Abhishek and Samson at the top? Especially after what happened in the 5 T20 series against England.
See, one of the things I want to say straight about our T20I team. Now, I have been very fascinated about our T20I team and I've been looking into it.
Yeah, of course you will be, as in like after that horrible test series,
Yeah,
you had to forget something to defend Gautam Gambhir.
Even when the moment that Gautam Gambhir came in and we saw how the T20I team has evolved without a lot of, having those star power names in it, the fact is that you are bound to have a lean patch. You're not going to be always like scoring a 50 in one game, next game you get a 30. Sometimes it clicks. With Sanju, the whole problem was that in the 4 matches that he played, I'll go with each match. In the 4 matches that he played, his technique was the same. He moved a little to the offside, tried to hook the ball. One of the good things that I saw him change in the last match was that the first ball that Jofra Archer bowled, he moved to the leg side a bit, giving himself that space so that he was not cramped up. And then he went for the hook shot and it went for a 6. The thing is, when you are playing this style in this team, you're not always going to be consistent. Some of the conditions it might not work out. Then it is up to you to kind of, recalibrate. If you look at how Abhishek was playing in the South Africa series, it was not working out for him. It was not at all working out for him. England series, first match he did well. But in the other matches, again, it was not working out for him because he was doing the same thing. He has only one approach. In the final match, he himself said that while I was batting, I just wanted to tonk the ball. But my seniors came up and said, Aram se khelo, you will get 100, you score that 100. And then he went on to play that long innings, right? So this team, it's all about, going back and changing your style. Samson has proved it. 300s in a calendar year, he's got those numbers. Why do you not back a guy who has done that? Yeah, there are technical things that he will have to change. But would I pick Samson over a Shubman Gill in the T20 side? Of course. The only kind of toss-up will be between Yashasvi and Sanju Samson, if you ask me. Because Yashasvi, as we know, is known for his unorthodox play, his aggressive intent right from the go, right? So that is the only thing. But if you ask me, Sanju has been given the long rope and he's done well also. One series, obviously things don't go all the time in your favor. So that is what I feel. Sanju should be backed and it's okay. This series did not go in your favor. Next series he might score. And we'll be asking if Abhishek should be dropped again. So that is what happens with the T20I game.
So what do you think?
I am very, very surprised that you asked this question. Did you ask the question that Suryakumar Yadav should also be dropped?
He's the captain.
He's the captain, so he can be given that leverage that he's not score runs.
No, he has been your number 1 T20 batter.
So Sanju scored 300.
He has runs in his bank.
So
like
so
they say,
Sanju.
when you're not in form, you have money in your bank. That's what they say, right?
See, I'll be very, very frank with you. Dropping Sanju Samson, even thinking about dropping Sanju Samson right now is a crime. Why I am saying this is, Sanju Samson is giving you 3 roles. He's your wicket keeper, he's your opener, and he has been scoring runs when your other opener flopped, when your captain flopped. He and Tilak Varma were the one who helped you win the T20 series in Australia. In South Africa. In South Africa, fine. Then you come about his form this time. So for me, I believe why Samson failed in the series, it was more about the mental things that happened to him before the series. There was a lot of hullabaloo where people questioned that, okay, Sanju Samson should not be part of Champions Trophy because he did not turn up for the Kerala camp. The Kerala state president came out and said that you can't turn up whenever you want. Then his father came and gave bizarre statements. I don't know why he is giving those statements. And, as a player, you are a human being. So when these statements are being made about you, around your cricketing acumen and career, it will affect you somehow. And then Jofra Archer, Jofra Archer was absolute trash in this series. The only good thing he did was he managed to keep Sanju Samson silent.
Yeah.
Because he was able to use that bounce to cramp Sanju Samson and get his wickets. And all those matches, you will see, Samson did not get bowled, did not get knocked off, did not get caught behind. He was being caught while trying to hit him for a six.
So that was a little bit of ego there.
Yeah,
Like, I
there was a lot
wouldn't-
of ego there because there's a mental issue going on. That, okay, people are questioning, I have to hit it. No, Sanju, you can't be doing that. You are too good a player to be just throwing away your wicket. You need to stay in the crease and then make the bowler work hard for a wicket. You will get those runs. Everybody got those runs.
I'll ask you a simple question to both
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
Like, does this T20I team look settled now? The team that they played against England?
To me, yes.
Probably a Bumrah in place of someone for a major tournament.
Bumrah in a major tournament, obviously you will always have Bumrah come in.
Yeah. So that's why I'm asking both of you.
I will.
Yeah. Is there room for a Shubman Gill or a Yashasvi Jaiswal or a Rishabh Pant or a KL Rahul to return to this side whenever they are done with their ODI commitments and the test commitments? See, after the England test series, you will have a situation where Siraj will be available for selection. Siraj will be available for selection. Rishabh Pant will be available for selection. KL Rahul will be available for selection. Yashasvi will be available for selection. And Shubman Gill will be available for selection. So, how do they get back into this T20I side? Because last time, when under Rahul Dravid, when you had these youngsters playing, and then you suddenly said, before the T20 World Cup, 6 months before the T20 World Cup started, you said no. Virat will come back into the side, Rohit will come back into the side, Jadeja will come back into the side. Are you looking at something similar happening this time? So someone like Abhishek Sharma missing out because India wants to, continue with Shubman and Yashasvi at the top. How do you think Gambhir will approach this? Because dropping, like you both said, dropping Sanju Samson doesn't make sense. To me, dropping Abhishek Sharma also doesn't make sense at all. He has looked $1 million and he has looked very comfortable against spin and very comfortable against pace. And that effortless hitting, a lot of us are being reminded of Yuvraj Singh. So, is there space for the senior players? As in, I'm not saying Virat and Rohit, but someone like a Pant, someone like Yashasvi, someone like Gill, more established players in other formats, multi-format players, to return to this T20I setup, probably say when India play T20Is after the test series in England.
See, for me, only one player gets a automatic inclusion into the team. That is Jasprit Bumrah. Him and Arshdeep will form your pace attack. And that should be your pace attack, complemented by probably a Hardik Pandya coming in. Varun Chakravarti as one of your main spinner. And you can have Ravi Bishnoi or Akshar Patel, depending on how deep you want the batting. Right.
So there is no space for Kuldeep also if he wants to come back?
No, I don't think so. This team is set. Why would you want to break this team up, is my question. You have Abhishek Sharma playing very well. You have a Ravi Bishnoi doing his role very well. Akshar Patel doing his role very well. Why would you want to break this mold? Because this team seems to be gelling so well. You don't hear any noise of, they did not have five dinners together, or they were
after one T20 World Cup triumph, probably yes, but it's too early for them to even speak about all that.
But that is the thing, right? Yeah. The camp looks good. Under probably everybody was criticizing why Suryakumar was given as the captain when Hardik was carrying it for a long period of time. But he seems to be a very good captain who seems to be backing his players every single time. Even though his form is a whole different situation, much like Sanju. But the fact is, why do you want to break this team? Bumrah coming into this team settles everything, and that's it.
Not even Kuldeep. Because, Saurabh, what about you?
So, if you ask me, you're definitely going to have a 15-man squad, right?
Yeah.
So, in this...
No, name 11.
Yeah.
Name 11 for the 2026.
I'll name 15.
For the 2026 T20 World Cup?
Yeah, I'm naming 15.
Okay, Saurabh Kumar is naming a 15 for the T20 World Cup.
Yes. Right? Considering how things are right now.
In February 2025.
Things might change.
Injury and all that is other thing.
Yeah.
But for me, in February 2025, let's hear Saurabh's 15.
So I will have 3 openers in my side. That will be Abhishek first, Samson second, Yashasvi third.
So Yashasvi will be a backup opener.
Yes. I'm sorry, but he has to be the backup opener because he's playing a lot of Test cricket and ODIs.
Oh, so that has become his fault now.
No, not his fault. See, when people have been scoring runs, Samson scored 300s, Abhishek scored 200s in one series in 6-7 months. How can you drop them?
Okay.
Fine.
Go ahead.
Okay. You'll have a Tilak Varma in that lineup. You'll have Suryakumar Yadav in that lineup. You'll have Hardik Pandya, Nitish Reddy, Rinku Singh. Okay. Then for me, the spinners will be, I will probably give a chance to Kuldeep also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not in the playing 11, but in the squad. Because see, if you see in this 11...
Kuldeep was a match winner in the World Cup. Don't forget that.
Fine. Things have changed.
Has he moved
Rohit-
out of Delhi Capitals or is he still with Delhi Capitals?
Rohit Sharma was your main player in the T20 World Cup. He is retired
No,
now.
of course.
Yeah, things have changed. And Gambhir is the coach, not Rahul Dravid, who will bring back the old player.
Yeah.
Gambhir does not do that.
Okay.
I have not
1
seen-
month ago in this podcast.
Yeah,
You were saying-
and 1 week ago in this
Yeah.
podcast, I was saying Gambhir is a better T20 coach than Test coach.
Yeah.
So let me just.
Okay, you go ahead.
So
yeah.
9 players, right?
9 ho gaya.
Okay.
Let's, yeah.
Then I will have Arshdeep and Bumrah.
11.
This will be my playing 11. Matlab not playing 11, this
Yeah.
will be my first 11. Then, did I name Rinku Singh in that?
Yeah.
I have named Rinku Singh. Then I will keep a Kuldeep Yadav. Okay?
Kuldeep
Fine.
you have named already.
No, I have not named Kuldeep.
You did name.
Yeah.
No, so let me.
For our listeners and viewers also,
Yeah.
Saurabh is repeating this.
Yeah. Okay. So I will have Abhishek Sharma.
Yeah.
I will have Yashasvi.
Yeah.
Samson. These three were there. Suryakumar Yadav.
Yeah.
Then I have Tilak Varma. Then I have Rinku Singh. Nitish Reddy. Hardik Pandya.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 done.
Okay.
8 then.
Varun Chakravarti.
Yeah. 9.
Akshay Patel.
Yeah.
10.
10.
Kuldeep.
Kuldeep 11.
11.
Okay.
Yeah. No
The-
paces have been picked yet.
Yeah. Arshdeep. Bumrah.
Yeah. 13.
Okay. And then I have a backup keeper who will probably be Ishan Kishan for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Somewhere I don't know if Ishan
Because,
is hearing
you know,
this,
to be very frank with
training in his backyard, he'll be happy.
Rishabh Pant played at T20 World Cup, but he has never convinced me as a T20 player.
Saurabh, the IPL is yet to start.
Okay.
You can, start your hatred.
I am not hating a player. I am just stating facts.
So to give a little more context, Saurabh is a big fan of Delhi Capitals.
Okay.
And since the time Rishabh Pant parted ways with Delhi Capitals,
Okay.
Saurabh has been a little salty. So he has been wishing for Pune Super Giants, Lucknow Super Giants to, at least lose their match in Delhi.
Okay.
So these are the evidences that
how
have
does,
to be
how does
presented.
these two things correlate?
Because you have removed Rishabh Pant, who is an
Yeah.
out-and-out match winner, and you have
Okay,
brought
wait,
back
tell
Ishan
me.
Kishan,
I am
who
giving-
hasn't
I-
had
I am
any
giving
impact
you
in the
both-
last
giving you
few
both a
months
challenge.
at least.
I am giving you both a challenge.
Yeah.
When was the last time when Rishabh Pant scored a 50 in ICC tournament? 50. Your match winner, your impact player.
In an
Tell me.
ICC tournament, probably in the...
In limited overs.
Oh, in limited overs.
Yeah, in limited overs. Because we're talking about T20s, right?
Yeah.
When did he last score a 50 in an ICC tournament in limited overs?
No, as in like him
When,
being
when,
in that
when?
lineup
When?
itself
See.
is a fear factor thing.
No, there are better players who create more fear than
Okay,
Rishabh Pant
let me
ever
not
did.
disturb you. Ishan Kishan is your 14th player. Go
14th,
for
final.
15.
And then I will probably keep another pacer, that is Harshit Rana for me. That is going to be my 15 for the...
So probably both of you kind of agree that Gambhir is not going to do what Rahul Dravid did in terms of bringing back. So at this moment, it looks like Shubman Gill is no longer a T20 player. So Shubman Gill, the superstar of Indian cricket, it needs to be,
the superstar.
I'm really curious to see how Gautam Gambhir handles this transition phase. We have all said that T20 transition has happened very smoothly, but at the same time, the regulars who were part of the T20 side are playing other formats now. And I want to see how someone like a Shubman Gill, if he probably says, I want to play T20s, what do they do? If someone like Rishabh Pant says, I want to play T20s, what do they do? I want to see how this is going to be handled. I completely agree with you. The T20 squad looks sorted as of now. But if these superstars want to return, and if they do well in the IPL, then what happens? That is my question.
See, if you do well in the IPL, obviously that a lot of things change, right?
Yeah.
Like how Saurabh said right now that there is almost a year's time that is left and a lot of things can change. Maybe probably a couple of years ago when Shubman Gill was at his prime form, there was not a T20 side that did not have Shubman Gill in it. We all wanted Shubman Gill to be playing in it. But right now the whole team structure or the mantra of that team has changed into a new modern phase. That you are
That
going
we won't respect the fast bowlers who bowl short. We'll just slog it wildly and get dismissed and keep on saying.
And score 300.
and score
Yeah.
300.
In the same series.
And just, we will not want someone like Shubman who can play both gears. We just want players who
So,
want to
again,
go all out.
Both gears. You want an anchor in a T20I match.
No, I'm not saying at least understand how the bowler is bowling.
Okay. And then
Don't be so set with your plans.
then
that-
start hitting in the 17th over.
So, like you said about playing in 2 gears. We saw Tilak Varma play in both gears at the
Yes.
Chennai in your hometown. He came there. He
but that
carried.
after the top order failed. Mention that as well.
So the top. Obviously, if you are going to play this aggressive cricket, your top order or
So are you okay with that theory that let's go all guns blazing? There is no two ways about the cricket that we play.
No, there are two ways about the cricket you play, because the first thing is you go on attack. When you are seeing that wickets are tumbling from the other end, then you have to hold the fort. And
So it's not like you will hold the fort and keep wickets for the last 10 overs. That's not how India are playing their T20s now.
No, not at all. And I am very happy with it.
Yeah.
I read a piece in ESPN written by Siddharth Manga, and he said India might not be at their best in T20is right now. That is what he has said, I think.
But they
are probably the greatest T20I side. Because of their approach. Because when they are attacking, they are attacking. There is no holding barrage. You saw in that fourth T20I what happened. India lost 3 wickets in 1 over.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Still went on to make
We
180.
were there on shift. We thought, okay, 140 would be good from here. And then you see Hardik and Shivam Dube going bang, bang. India posting 180 plus.
Yeah.
And then we won.
Yeah.
And we won because we had a second pacer who came as a concussion substitute.
Yeah.
So you need the pacer also, like I said.
Yeah. See, I was just playing the devil's advocate. Even I'm very happy to see this approach.
Yeah.
Like whatever you say about Gautam
No,
Gambhir as a test coach and all that, you have to credit him for the way he has kind of said, okay, just go out there and unleash. Which was also the case with Rohit Sharma and his team in the West Indies and the USA. You have to give that much credit. Even Suryakumar acknowledges it.
Definitely.
We are not doing anything different. It was the template that Rohit Sharma created in the World Cup, and we are taking that forward. So I'm kind of very happy.
So I will ask one question, like you asked us.
Yeah.
Which cricketers are you seeing who can make a comeback in the T20 side?
Okay.
Like you said, it will be very interesting to see.
Yeah.
You must be having some ideas. What do you think, Akshay?
See, come back from I think Shivam Dube still has to fight for his spot.
Yes, he has.
I for a very small reason, I think Rinku Singh probably also has to show a little more to cement his spot.
Okay.
Yeah, he has done well, but the lack of opportunities that has come. I'm not saying it's entirely his fault. He has been always thrown at number 7, number 8, or at least he must push someone to tell him that give me a chance at number 4, number 5. Where did Tilak Varma suddenly come from? Rinku was well suited to play the number 3 role as well. Number 3, number 4 role as well. At one point, Ashish Nehra said Rinku Singh should be part of the ODI squad as well. He even played ODIs. He played well in those ODIs as well. So I think these two might have to fight for their spot. So, but I will not rule out a Rishabh Pant from this T20 squad. I will not rule him out. And again, Shubman, I don't know if he can get back to those, big hitting, big scoring time. But I think he's a little like his idols, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, when it comes to T20I cricket. He's not. Is he ready to play out and out aggressive cricket? I'm not sure yet. Probably if he can show that with Gujarat Titans as captain also, we all should probably understand that he did not probably do as well as captain and a batter last time. So that is also pressure. So for me, I think Rishabh Pant and Yashasvi Jaiswal, of course, you both
Kuldeep
also agree.
No Bumrah.
No, I'm saying Bumrah. Those are first choice.
Okay.
Kuldeep will be my first choice. Okay.
No,
I will have.
Chakravarti.
See, Varun Chakravarti, Kuldeep and Aksar. That will be my bowling lineup. Ravi Bishnoi probably has to earn his spot. He has done well. But keep in mind that he was not picked for the T20 World Cup. There were reasons for that. A little one-dimensionally, he's working on it. It's good. But these 3 probably will be my first choice spinners. If you can play 3 spinners. The T20 World Cup is happening in India as well.
Yeah.
2026. So for me, Varun, Aksar and Kuldeep at this moment. And Bumrah and Kuldeep, for me, straight away are first choice playing 11. So that's why I said, for me, Yashasvi and Rishabh, I will still not rule them out. And Shubman, if he can change his approach, but I don't know where you will fit these people in. That's the problem.
So you are saying Pant can be our second choice wicketkeeper. And why I am saying second choice is...
Pant will be my first choice.
No, why I am saying second choice wicketkeeper is because Surya has come out and said before the T20 series, he said there are no doubts about Sanju Samson. Yeah. He is our first choice wicketkeeper in T20. Yeah. I am not saying this. Our captain has said this.
Yeah.
So...
And Sanju is going to be opening for Rajasthan as well, alongside Yashasvi Jaiswal.
And keeping the wickets.
So he's also a lot of problems, and he gives you another solid batter like a Shivam Dube to come into the middle.
I think the selectors and the coach might be hopefully there will be no new stars in this IPL. Otherwise, their job will become even more difficult.
Which is a great headache to have. No,
very great. But we have had and we have not dealt with happy headaches very well in the past. The selection, you all say that having 17, 18 ready players is good, but then you drop an Ambati Raidu before a 2019 ODI World Cup, and then you select a 3-dimensional cricketer. as in, I'm not doubting anybody's ability, but we have not handled resources well when there was a problem of plenty.
Yeah.
So that's something that's probably a little bit of concern to say. But, it's good. It's good to have so many young players doing so well. And it's probably become the envy of the world. Like, you have to credit IPL for that.
Yeah.
Like, you are getting ready-made players. Like Ranji Trophy, yes, most of these players don't play there enough. But if you come to a T20 format, if you're making a debut, you are already ready. And it hardly happens in Test cricket. We saw established stars struggling, but the T20 is completely a different ball game. So both of you agree that India are looking at the moment favourites to retain the title for the T20 World Cup, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Right now,
especially in India. If it is happening in India, for sure.
there is no team that can challenge this Indian team.
Yeah.
The way Indian team is playing.
Yeah. You've still not played Pakistan, let's see.
Yeah, we played Pakistan. They could not chase 120.
120.
So,
But my, if you look at the 2021 World Cup that we keep on going to ahead of Dubai, from there, this team feels like a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
Like, so you have to credit both Gambhir, Rohit, and Dravid, as in like Gambhir and Dravid, I meant, for that, mindset change. They have kind of realized it late. England started it very early. Australia also started it very early. But we have kind of bettered that,
exactly.
version. You have the talent to, go bang, bang till number 8, number 9. And like you said, it's not about keeping wickets for the last 10 overs. It's about seeing whether we have wickets for the last 10 overs. Just go out and, blaze your way. Coming back to the ODIs, quick prediction before we go. Like, England, like you said, are not the greatest ODI white ball side, at least in the subcontinent. And that also gives me a little bit of, I'm a little afraid that England might flop in this Champions Trophy as well, because they're going to play on similar wickets where Pakistan, where the pitches will be like this and there will be spinners. So I think it will be probably a better fought series than the T20I series, because India were completely outplaying England. But what are your predictions? As like, will it be one-sided or?
I will say this again, like I have said this. You have a coach as Brandon McCullum, you're not competing. You are just entertaining, losing, and going back home.
Yeah.
Smiling, giving those press conferences where you are not questioning your team, you are questioning other teams.
Other factors.
Other factors.
Oh, you guys are salty about that concussion substitute.
No, I'm not salty about that. He's right about that. Oh, we have 4 impact subs. Tell me one thing. You have 4 impact subs. Even if you bring those 4 impact subs, you can't chase on the target. What are you talking about? You could not outscore Abhishek Sharma. Butler, you have some shame. You have been outclassed everywhere you go. You went to Pakistan, you lost the series there. Test series, fine. You came to India.
was not part of that, huh?
Oh, England. McCullum was there.
McCullum
was there.
Yeah.
Now you come to India, 4-1 T20I series defeat. But all you have to talk about in the 5th match is, I have 4 impact subs. Rightly point out, the elephant in the room in the 4th T20I was concussion substitute. I will say that, yes, his press conference was right. He was right to point out that.
Yeah.
But what was the need in the 50 T20I? Because you know your team is not good enough to fight also. Leave around winning. And I'm telling you, they are going to be battered in this ODI series in Champions Trophy. England cricket is going downhill because they have a head coach who does not know anything apart from just do that entertainment thing. So when you have McCullum as head coach, you're not winning anything.
What about you, Alan?
See, I would obviously say that when it comes to controversies, let's specifically talk about controversies. The biggest uproar happens when it is involved with England and when they are at the side of receiving something. Charlie Dean run out.
Yeah.
That was the biggest, one of the, I think my first episodes inside podcast, inside our Sledging Room podcast was related to that. I remember that tweet from Iceland cricket where they trolled Michael Vaughan. They said that, we didn't even have to look up at the score because we knew that England lost and that is why this man is saying all these things. That is the thing. Yeah, to be very fair, it was not a great call.
Yeah, it was not.
And I don't blame even India for this. You proposed this move that we want Harshit Rana to come in. The match referee, the third umpire, whoever was involved, they were the ones who had made the call. So they should have said, no, this is what are you bringing right in front of us? What is this? This cannot happen. No, sorry. They did not do that. They signed on it. You have to accept it and move on. You were having the game in your hand. I think Harshit bowled an 18-run over. You had the game in your hand.
And then you lost wickets to Varun again.
And you lost wickets to Varun. And the most idiotic way that Harry Brook, I think Smog might have come into play also. He decided to scoop Varun Chakravarti. Why? You had to just play him out. Get 6 runs off his over. Next over, you could have again dealt with him. No, you gave your wicket away. Bryden Cars comes in. Does the same thing.
So you are also agreeing that this approach will not help them win anything in ODIs or the Champions Trophy?
See, their approach, their aggressive approach, their aggressive intent, it's all great. They have got some names like Jacob Bethel, all these guys coming into play. But what have they achieved? Have they done something to, if you look at it, they made it to the Champions Trophy also by the skin of their teeth. They were almost out.
Yeah.
They were almost out. They were outclassed by Afghanistan. The worst title defenses ever when it comes to white ball cricket in the ODI World Cup and in the T20I World Cup. That is because the other teams have catched up and they have realized that these guys cannot play spin to save themselves. So if Brendan McCullum wants to be in the or the England team wants to be in the entertainment business, well and good, because we are being entertained seeing them getting skittled out for 97 in 10 overs while chasing 240. Because they are not ready to address their main deficiency, which is spin. You need to have a great, insane player of spin to be there. That is maybe a Joe Root. He was doing very well in the SA20.
That's where I was coming to. If you had asked my prediction, I would have said it will be a little more hard fought than the T20I series.
Okay.
I want to see Joe Root making an impact. As in, like, he can bring that a little bit of stability to the middle order, which probably they are lacking.
Like he did in the Test series.
Yes.
Joe Root is another fraud. He scores runs when there's a flat track going up. And the moment you saw in Pakistan, the way the moment he started turning, he's like, oh my God, I have Muralidharan come out to bowl. How can I play this? I can't. Let me get out.
I think in that sense, what they say about Harry Brook being the next Joe Root is also correct.
Absolutely right.
I hope the England, as in England team answers the both of you.
To be very frank, I would have preferred Sri Lanka over England. They would have given better fight in the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
And I think Bangladesh will finish way above England.
That's a bold call, Saurabh. Will you stick to it before the Champions Trophy as
Absolutely,
well?
yes.
We'll probably be doing a couple of preview shows for the Champions Trophy as well.
What do you think about this England team?
No, I see that it's too early to judge McCullum, Saurabh. As in, like,
too early. Test cricket also.
Test cricket, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Test cricket. You still haven't, as in, let's see the Ashes, the next Ashes.
Yeah,
let's see how Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma perform in England.
Yes.
So then a lot of things will will be clear. But I do think that I was very genuinely surprised when Brendan McCullum was appointed as the Test coach at the start in the first place. I thought probably he was more suited to white ball, but he has a track record in T20is. Probably he kind of take things too much. Like we saw in KKR, like what happened when he was the head coach. Like so many things were tried. Nothing was kept simple. I hope that this approach is not bad, but I think they don't have the quality to play spin. That's the problem.
That is a
like when you, how do you address that? Probably you play slow. Probably you don't throw caution to wind. You have a batter like Joe Root, even in T20s when you're playing in the subcontinent. Joe Root is willing to play T20s. He spoke after the SA20. So I don't know. I don't want to, say that they will finish the last. But if they don't have the tools to play spin, then probably it's going to be tough. And I do think that India will do well in the ODI series. And there is a lot to speak about, how the Indian team will look. Like we started the podcast with how the Indian team will look, how the mood in the camp will look when Rohit and Gambhir reunite, when Virat comes back after that entertaining knock in Delhi, where, probably the crowd would have spent more time in the queue than Virat spent time in the middle. So it'll be fun to see how these things pan out. And like you both pointed out, when it comes to this format, two players who have, done so well throughout their careers, probably modern day greats, as in probably the greatest batter, one of the greatest batters of all time. And if they are going to give one final push before the future is being discussed again, I hope it's a good one, and it should start with the ODI series because. And I wanted to make this point also before we quickly leave. The pitches that we play in the next 3 ODIs in Nagpur, Cuttack, and that those are gonna be very important because you need to simulate it like a bit like Dubai. Probably someone has gone there and seen the pitches, because if you give flat decks here, and then if you ask them to play on those pitches in Dubai, it might be a little difficult. So preparation should involve that also, keeping that in mind. But it's time to also ask our viewers and listeners what they think about the T20I, the T20I side, whether this side is probably ready for the T20 World Cup in 2026 now, whether some of the superstars can return to the T20I mix, and what do they think about Brendan McCullum and his entertainment company in the lead up to the Champions Trophy. You can send in your views on 8588 If you're listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast, please do rate us. And like we always say, if you're watching us on YouTube, please leave your feedback. We'll be more than happy to learn your comments. Thank you. Have a great week.